What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? It's your brother outside the Qube. And yes, we are back again. We are back again. You know what it is. You know exactly what it is. Um, yeah, we got a few reactions we're gonna get into today. A few reactions we're gonna get into today. Um, I have a few. I have a few. I wanted to review this video. Um, with this atheist brother here. This dude be absolutely cooking these goddamn Christians. It's an amazing sight to see. It's a guilty pleasure of mine to where I tap in from time to time. It's definitely a guilty pleasure, so I most certainly want to share that with you guys. I also wanted to take a look at this video here where the brother Moore's World TV goes in to talk about how uh, he beat the case with Tariq Nasheed. He had some kind of defamation case with Tariq Nasheed. I kind of wanted to get into that. There's this other video I wanted to check out about why two incomes leave you broker than one, meaning two incomes like with a husband and wife or whatever the case may be. I thought that was a bit interesting and thought provoking. I also wanted to delve into this video right here, how America outlawed the affordable home. All information that I think is pertinent that people can actually gain some utility from. And lastly, this video with these Trump supporters, crazy as hell, but interesting none the least. So I think I'm gonna start off with the video with the brother from Moore's World TV, him going into the situation between him and Tariq Nasheed. Maybe he'll give us a little bit of insight of what actually happened, what's been happening. But according to what I understand, is like he beat the case. They had a case, and I think this has been spanning for about 2 or 3 years at this point. And I will say this: the brother from Moore's World TV, he does a good job covering the fake Aboriginal people and cooking them on a weekly basis. You know, I think that's dope. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. Let's go ahead and get into that right about now.
God damn! How y'all doing? I wasn't even gonna go live today. What's cooking? What's cooking? Talk to me. What's cooking? Peace and love, family. Yeah, what's cooking? Anybody in the building? Welcome to another edition of Moore's World TV. I know y'all haven't seen me in a while, but I think it's my responsibility to give y'all an update. It's my responsibility to give y'all an update as to myself and Mr. Nasheed. I've had my day in court, family. How y'all doing today? Come on, throw that thumbs up, family. Let me give y'all an update. Y'all ain't seen me in a minute.
Yeah,
man.
throw that thumbs up.
I'm in my Drew Ali fresh wear. Where you at? Where you at? I mean, but yeah. I think it's imperative that I give all my people an update as to what happened in court. Somebody say something, family. Somebody say something. I mean, where y'all at? Y'all need that update? Huh? Y'all need that update? Where y'all
Ain't
at?
no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no
Hey,
way,
come
boy.
on, feel me. Feel me, man.
Shouts
Feel
out
me,
to
man.
the brother Nano
I'm the
Side
boy
of
you gonna
Peace.
remember, man. I thought you knew. Hold up.
Shouts out to the sister Mika in the building. We see you. We see you. Peace to y'all. Yeah, Taharka Bay. I don't know why I keep saying the brother from Moore's World TV. It's Taharka Bay. I keep saying the brother from Moore's World TV.
I thought you knew. I thought you knew. I'm gonna let y'all feel me for a minute. Hold up. Let me walk away and let y'all feel me for a minute.
This nigga acting like this is first time wearing a goddamn suit, nigga. Like he want niggas to see the fit, the chicken bucket hat. Nah, I'm fucking with him about that. But damn, nigga, all right, nigga, we see you, bruh. We see you, cuz.
Let me walk away and let y'all feel me for a minute. You heard? You know what I mean? Let me walk away and let me feel me for a minute. Let's go feel me for a minute. You heard? Hey,
Yeah, you could tell that. You could tell he won that goddamn case. He throwing papers around and shit. Yeah, nigga, books. Yeah, he definitely won.
family. Hey, family, let me walk away and let you film me for a minute. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to tell you, y'all gotta get the people up in here first, man. Get the people up. Hey, I'm gonna be back in a minute. Get the people up in here.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Is the people in here yet? Is the people in here yet?
And his name is John C.
If I say that I'm the more you're gonna remember.
Yo, and you right about that, Sister Mika, 100%.
Mika 1135 says, congrats.
Yo, that's 100. Big congrats to that brother Qube for winning that case, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always great to take down the leader of a black hate group. Yes, I said it, a black hate group. Is always great to see, you know, actual black people get wins against, you know, that black hate group. So, well, excuse me, the leader of the black hate group. So yeah, hell yeah. Big shout out to that brother Qube. You got nothing but fucking respect for me.
Remember? That's what I meant. You heard me? Listen. So, fam, let me give y'all an update real quick before I gotta get out of here. Today was the final day of trial
Hit the like, hit
with
the like.
myself and Mr. Tariq Nasheed. Let me give y'all the first breakdown. The first breakdown is that Tariq Nasheed looked very defeated in the courtroom. For the past few days that we've been in the courtroom, he looked very, very defeated. And I'm gonna tell you something, family. At one point, my humanity kicked in, and I had to remember who I was dealing with. But from my perception,
Yeah, see, that's mistake number one. Your humanity cannot kick in
Ain't no fucking way, boy.
when you dealing with a gremlin of that stature. You just have to take that nigga all the way out, take your fucking belt all the way off, and do what you supposed to do. Fuck humanity at that point, because that nigga, his humanity doesn't kick in when he's talking about Africans and niggas from the Caribbean. Like, he don't care. So hell nah, nigga, take your belt all the way off and put belt to ass, nigga. Fuck that nigga for real. He's a scamming, grifting ass nigga in our goddamn community. He ain't touching on kids like Brother Polite, as far as we know, but still, nigga.
Mr. Nasheed looked very ill. He looked very ill. Looked like he had lost weight.
Hey, he could be sickly. I don't know. I don't watch his streams. Is Tariq Nasheed sickly? Did he catch something? That would be unfortunate.
And I'm just giving the description. The back of his hair was salt and pepper gray. The front of his hair was shoe polish black. And I'll go into some greater details when I get to the studio, but I'm just telling you right now that the brother did not look like the Tariq Nasheed I just smacked to Qube. I'm telling you right now. So I'll give you a brief breakdown. Now, to be honest with you, family, it was like, so I defended myself, right? I defended myself. And I want to give y'all a better breakdown, but I'll give you a breakdown like this because I only got a short amount of time before I get out of here. But in the beginning, right, it was kind of complicated to get my bearings, right? Because I come to court with all of this evidence, right? Like all of this evidence. And unbeknownst to me, that all the evidence is digitized. In other words, it's not like that in Baltimore, that you send all your evidence in and you really just have your papers with you in order to have an extra copy, but
No. He did slap that nigga, bro. And I think the video shows it, and I think that's what they went to court for. He slapped them, and then, he defamed them by saying a whole bunch of stuff about the brother Qube, made little cartoons about him and stuff like that. So I think that's what the litigation was over.
So I was there on some old school type stuff and trying to get all my papers together, et cetera, not thinking that they had already been put in and they digitized. And so whenever you approach to put evidence in, you don't have to do all that. They just put it on the screen. So that was one of my hiccups, right? But
Yeah, so I guess Maryland, they dealing in the Stone Age, because when you go to court, you're just supposed to be able to have the correlating pieces to where you can say, okay, play 1A1, and then they'll play that. Show 1B3, and then they'll put that up. This nigga came to court with a bunch of goddamn papers and binders and shit. But, you know, if he didn't know, that's understandable. But, yeah, you know, you're supposed to figure all that shit out before you get to court, how things are going to be orchestrated. But nevertheless, he still pulled out the dub. Big motherfucking shout out.
But the trial, family, I knocked the trial out the water. After that little hiccup, family, I ran through this thing flawlessly. I mean, FBA, and I'm gonna be like this, and I'm not disparaging. FBA has definitely got some thinking to do, because I was in there fighting this super big law firm. These old Europeans that I was up against, Allah is my witness, and I don't lie. Allah is my witness. His attorney tapped out. I don't think y'all heard me. His attorney tapped out. When it was time for Mr. Nasheed to hit the stand, his attorney said he won't be taking the stand. He tapped out. He tapped out right then and there. He tapped out. I had all of my exhibits ready. I had everything ready. So they put on an expert witness. Let me rewind. Let me rewind real quick. So after I get through the digital process,
Hold on, man. We only got 2 likes. Come on, man. I know we could do better than that, man. Shouts out to everybody tuning in. I know we could do a little bit better than 2 likes.
everything is just flowing. One thing that I will say that Ms. Nasheed, attorney, was able to do was to make it look like it was an argument between Tariq Nasheed and I, as opposed to the focus on the slander.
Well, that is interesting, because even in an argument, you still shouldn't be able to slander me in an argument or defame me, even in an argument. So, you know, that is what that is.
And so they was able to pull that off. They masterfully pulled that off, because, you know, I make a lot of videos, but my position was these videos was post the slander and the defamation. But nevertheless, they was able, I think, in my mind, they were able to pull that off, right? But everything else, hands down. Family, I think I'm going to school to be an attorney, man. For real.
You know the old saying, give a nigga a rope, you want to be a cowboy. They got one dub, man. Now you want to be an attorney. But shouts out to the brother Taha Qube, man.
For real. The way I put on this case, I think his attorney was like, no, we're not playing with this guy.
Peace to the brother American Dream. Peace, peace.
Even the judge, family, the judge said, you put on a phenomenal case. You know what I'm saying? Now, the whole thing about it is that they were able to duck a substantial monetary judgment. They got to pay, but they don't have to pay. I'm going to say something.
So they got to pay, but he didn't get what he asked for, which is normally normal, if you will. It's going to be reduced a little bit, but hey, the FBA leader got to pay. So that's all fine with me. Any shots you take at that scamming ass nigga and win is fine with me. So yeah, Tariq Nasheed, the FBA leader, has to now pay a tether or whatever the fuck. Yeah, you gotta pay, nigga. Pay like your way, nigga. You spend all of that money in litigation and all of the goddamn lawyers, and you still gotta pay. Damn, nigga. Tariq looking bad out here. Has that nigga made a video yet? I haven't even looked it up. If he has made a video, please somebody send it to me, or I'll just punch it up while I'm looking at this.
Some of that for when I get to my studio. They gotta pay, but they don't have to pay what I
Or maybe he too shamefaced to even make a goddamn video talking about it.
filed the lawsuit for. And there's certain parameters why that is so. But I gotta save some for when I get to the studio. You know what I'm saying? Give me a 7 if you understand what I'm saying. Give me a 7 if you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I gotta save some before I get to the studio. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I beat my case. You know what I mean? I beat my case.
What? You beat your case?
What's that? I beat that. So look. I mean, I beat my case, and they got to pay. You know, is it what I wanted them to pay? No, but hands down, FBA, they really need to consider this, because I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Peace, OGS video 369. Peace to y'all. Yeah, I'm glad they gotta pay. Maybe he got a quarter, you know, from the judgment from what he actually, because he probably was looking for somewhere between 300 and 400. He probably was looking somewhere between 300 and 400. He probably up getting, you know, like 75 of them things, you know, which is cool. He probably ended up getting like 75 of them things, maybe even 100 of them things, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? You flying back and forth, you know what I'm saying, from the East Coast to the West Coast. So that's going to definitely offset that. You know what I'm saying? So hell yeah. Congrats that brother got a little bit of paper out of this punk ass nigga.
Truth, family. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth, family.
Peace. What's up, Jose?
Mr. Nasheed looked very pathetic and weak in there with these old Europeans trying to defend him. Listen, this is my opinion. It looked disgraceful. It really did. And I'm not even talking about an FBA move. I'm just talking about from anybody who is melanated. It really looked disgraceful. It looked very disgraceful that a young brother,
I can imagine a pitiful looking ass Tariq Nasheed hanging his goddamn head when he's losing this goddamn case, and then he figures out he gotta pay this nigga. I can just imagine the disgrace and the shamefacedness that was upon this motherfucking. I could just imagine it, bro. I could just imagine it.
Moorish American, descendants from the inhabitants of Africa, family origins here from the plantation, is facing, and these are older Europeans. I'm talking about they like 70 years old. Seriously, these old attorney Europeans like 70 years old. It was very. Listen.
So what he's basically saying is, if I could translate, Tariq Nasheed got the oldest, most expensive white lawyers that had all of the clout in Los Angeles and still lost the goddamn case. So the nigga probably spent anywhere between 80 and 100,000 so he wouldn't have to pay the 400 to $500,000. Well, I guess it did work out for Tariq Nasheed when you look at the numbers that way. So let's say Tariq Nasheed gave these old white men 80 to 100,000, and he has to pay between maybe 70 to 100,000. But maybe Taharka was asking for $500,000 for damages due to the slander and defamation. So I guess Tariq Nasheed did get off a little bit, but shit, nigga, as long as you gotta pay, nigga, fuck it. But the saddest part about it is Tariq Nasheed is just using the money that he scammed the fucking community to get. He's just using that money to pay Taharka Bey.
It just looked bad. And like for instance, when you take yourself outside of yourself and you look at the reality of a situation, you said, man, this looks pathetic. Like, at one point, he was looking helpless. Like, save me. Because at one point, even though he lost, I think he's kind of happy that he don't have to pay what the lawsuit was for. You know what I mean? I think he's kind of happy that he doesn't have to pay for the lawsuit for court, because he did. That's the only time he smiled. I mean, but nevertheless,
so it was a win for Tariq. So he smiled even in defeat. If he smiled, that means he was happy, like, whew, I didn't have to pay that $500,000. But, you know, okay. Yeah, okay.
it was pathetic. I mean, it was pathetic. It looked really, really bad. And like I said, outside of the comments and the back and forth that Tariq and Nasheed and I had, just as an individual, just as a person, I mean, it looked bad. It looked bad. Somebody say, how many lawyers did he have? Well, on this case, let me guesstimate, it was about 5 of them. About 5 of them. Yeah, it's about 5 of them. But then, bro, listen, it got so heavy, right? Things got so heavy that the head of the firm had to come in.
Really, nigga?
The head of the firm had to come in. And I think the head of the firm was like, don't let him testify. So basically, they put on an expert witness, right? The expert witness was an old guy. He was like, you know, that I'm gonna get the transcript. We're gonna do a show. I'm gonna order the transcript. I should order it now. I'll order it tomorrow. But the older guy, what up, Meg? The older guy, he was making statements like, in the black community, he said he was associated with the black community for about 50 years, and in the black community, it's normal for us to go back and forth with each other like for competition, like.
So, translation, they found an old coon that Tariq Nasheed paid to go in there to say, oh, that was just, you know, Negro banter. Tariq Nasheed found and paid some old coon to go in there to say, oh, this is just Negro banter. This is just what we do. It's normal for, you know, the blacks, us blacks, to defame and slander each other. This is just normal. He found an old fucking step and fetch it to go and, man, yo, niggas, boy, that's crazy as hell. Oh, it's just normal for the blacks. You know what's blacks, right? You know, we're just ignorant and savage. So it's just normal for us to defame and slander and put down. That's just normal. Because even if you listen to Tariq and a lot of his BS rhetoric, he'll say, well, you know, it's a part of our culture to, you know, play the dozens and go back and forth at each other. Nigga, that ain't a part of our motherfucking culture, nigga. Who doesn't do that? What people group don't do that? What the hell are you talking about? Nigga, if anything, that's juvenile. That's what children do. Nigga, when I go to work, ain't no motherfucking nigga that's around that's playing the dozens and all of that other shit. Nigga, that shit don't exist. Nigga, I'm a grown ass man. I'm just here to punch this clock, do my 8, and get out. Oh, that's just a part of our culture. Nigga, no the fuck it's not. And motherfuckers just be riding with it like, yeah, you know what? He's right. That is a part of our culture to be joning and playing the dozens and going back and forth with it. What are you talking about, bruh? Niggas that do that have a childlike mindset. You may make a joke or two, but you ain't just going back and forth. Like, nigga, stop.
Like, he really racially profiled this demonstration. I mean, he really racial profiled this demonstration. And yeah, let me say this. Although I didn't get awarded what the lawsuit was for, there's no doubt in my mind that the defendant spent over 100 to 150 grand on this. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind he spent over 100 to 150 grand.
Maybe he didn't spend anything. Maybe Tariq didn't spend anything. Maybe after it was over, they probably was just on some tip like, hey, you owe us one. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your foot on the necks of them goddamn Africans and them goddamn African immigrants and them Caribbean immigrants. Keep your neck on them and we could call it even Steven. He probably ain't pay a thing.
And on this, easy. I'm talking about easy. I mean, I'm up against one of the biggest law firms in California. I'm surprised somebody ain't coming out here saying, hey, you want a record deal? Let me put you through school. I'm surprised. You want to go to school? You want a record deal? I'm surprised ain't nobody coming out the door and saying that, because after I cross-examined the expert witness,
What you mean, Jose? That when you say I don't think he responded, what does that mean? That when you say you don't think he responded to what? And who is he?
Tariq was supposed to take the stand, and the judge said, okay, next witness. His attorney stood up, Your Honor. My client will not be taking the stand and testifying. And yeah, we rest.
Yo, that would have been amazing theater, bruh. If Taharka Bey would have been able to cross-examine Tariq Nasheed, bruh, that would have been amazing theater. Listen, we wouldn't have been able to get the footage, but we would have been able to get the stenographer's notes to where we would have been able to see, oh shit, shouts out to Qube Crisis, peace, bro. We excuse me, we would have been able to see the back and forth, you know what I'm saying, in the transcripts, to where Taharka Bey was asking him questions, because Taharka Bey said he represented himself. So that shit would have been, that would have been A1, bruh. Oh, man. But his lawyer stepped in and was like, nah, he ain't gonna take the stand. Yeah, he ain't gonna take the stand. Because he's about to sit there and get grilled by Taharka Bey, the same person that the lawsuit is. Man, that would have been amazing if we could have got that, man. That would have been amazing.
I was like, what? Listen. If he would have took that stand, I had my thing lined up. Marcus, Vincent, Thomas, everything would have came.
He was about to run that nigga all up through there, bro. That would have been funny as hell. That would have been funny as hell, bro. Because I would have been reading the transcripts, trying to put my Taharka Bey voice on, and then having to switch up to put my Tariq Nasheed voice on. Man, that would have been funny as hell, bro. Tariq Nasheed robbed us of a great moment.
Full circle. Oh my goodness. But he didn't take the stand, man. He just took the L. He took the L, he bowed out. You know what I mean? So my plan is, listen, when I seen him today, oh man, I gotta tell y'all about the details, man. I gotta show you some of the evidence they put in. He bowed out, family. After I cover the case, I probably move on. Because he bowed out, family. I mean, really. Now, I hope he don't go and make a video as if he got a W. I hope he don't. You know what I mean? Because you can go look the case up. But I also think Mr. Nasheed found a new respect for myself. I think he found a new respect for me. I think he's seen how I moved around that courtroom. I think he's seen how I was presenting myself as an intelligent, respectable man with decorum. You know what I mean? I think he found a brand. If he didn't, he's just.
Yeah, so basically what happened is the brother Taharka Bey had a run-in with Tariq Nasheed, the leader of the Black Hate Group, FBA, and over defamation or slander, they went to court, and the brother Taharka Bey won. So he's just exclaiming victory and just telling us a little bit about the case. But Mixtape Killer says, Taharka Bey said Tariq Nasheed threw Sinetta under the bus in court. A, how do you know that? And B, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. We're talking about a scammer trying to save his own ass. Of course that's something he would do if that actually took place.
That's 2 times crazy. He's just 2 times crazy. But I was in there getting it in, family. I was in there getting it in. But I won today.
Button, yo.
No, man. I won today, family. The case is now over. I'm the victor. I'm the first one on social media that sets a precedence. You understand? That you can have commentary. You can have commentary. You can say whatever you want. But don't let the commentary jump over to slander. Don't let it do that. Yeah. And I beat the FBA's European attorneys. That's what I did today. I did it. I beat the FBA European attorneys. I mean, but
I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. That is an amazing feat to beat 60, 70-year-old white men, you know, in court, actual lawyers, actual attorneys. Like that is a feat, bro. That must be lauded, applauded, Like, that's real shit. I gotta give him that, bro. That's not something that, you know, a regular nigga can do. So, but you know, when you kind of got truth on your side, and then you got footage on top of footage on top of footage to back up your case, like, how can they not give you the win? You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, I think Mr. Nasheed, I think he learned a valuable lesson today. See, for all of the people that he's been disparaging over the years, I'm the only one walked it all the way down. See, for me to be able to walk this down 3 years, I think I'm specially built. I'm specially built. You feel what I'm saying? I walked it down.
Listen, no homo, you are specially built, bro. And I say that like that to say this, that most niggas are just try to duck and hide and try to run from the bullets. That nigga ran to the shit and was like, fuck what they on. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give him that, bro. Like, he ran to the shit and he was just like, fuck it, nigga, we finna deal with it. Because most people, they don't want to deal with it. This dude may have more money than I do and can get these high-powered lawyers. And then in the end, he represented himself to show that that shit ain't even work, bro.
You see what I'm saying? For 3 years, 2.5, almost 3 years. No, 3 years was when it was made. 3 years was November the 22nd.
Okay, you say it's in the video we watching now? Oh, okay. Well, it's almost over, so maybe he's going to say it soon.
November the 9th, 2022, 23 to 4 to 5, I sent the cease and desist. I walked it down for 3 years, family. You understand what I'm saying? And see, this is a testament, family. This is a testament of how you do things, family. Never give up, family. Never give up. And don't try to quantify a win. Take the W and run. Take the W and run. Like even people like, I did this for people like Michi X. You feel what I'm saying? Even though Michi X and I have had some words, you see that he don't do disparaging stuff about Michi X no more. You follow me? I did this for people like Roland Martin. It doesn't mean I agree with Roland Martin politics, but he gonna think.
Yeah, and shouts out to all of those people, man, because Tariq, you know, he have disparaged these people for quite a long time. Roland Martin, Michi X, a few other people. He'll make cartoons about you. You know what I'm saying? He'll employ people to make cartoons and shit like that to where everybody laughs at you to try to make you a laughing stock. And, you know, it'll kind of put you in a space to like, damn, I can't win. Like, this motherfucker has like this huge reach and I'm just a smaller YouTuber and it's difficult for me to get my reach. But like I say, man, shouts out to that brother for sticking with it and getting that motherfucking dub, man, for the little man. So yeah, hell yeah, shout out, nigga.
Twice when the words come out his mouth about someone whose commentary that he disagree with, like a Roland Martin. I did this for people like Tommy Sotomayor. I don't agree with Tommy Sotomayor commentary all the time, but Tommy Sotomayor, he talks in vague terms. He don't talk in direct terms. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not.
Well, that's the only one that I'm not gonna fuck with because Tommy Sotomayor is a bona fide through and through coon. There's nothing doing there. I can't do it with the Tommy Sotomayor. I was rocking with you till you said Tommy Sotomayor. That nigga's a coon. I'll drop the link for a minute if y'all guys want to tap in and talk about this subject before I move to the next. Yeah, I'll drop it if people want to come in and chop it up.
But I definitely don't agree with him being targeted for slander either. I definitely don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I do this.
Yeah,
for
we can't agree
all
with
the
that.
people
We can't agree with
that was up against the disparaging remarks. You know what I'm saying? Of a Tariq Nasheed and his followers. Because at the end of the day, family, social media is to socialize. Anybody can be opinionated. Anybody can be opinionated at the end of the day. But when that opinion crossed the line and called someone a registered sex offender, come on now. Come on now. You didn't went too far.
So that's what happened. That's what happened. He called him a registered sex offender, and I think that's what caused the other shoe to drop, and for the litigation process to transpire or begin. Here go the link right there. So if you guys want to tap in real quick and give your thoughts and ideas, let's chop it up for a minute before we get to the next topic.
Far. You done went too far. Man, when I tell y'all the details of this, he put Sinetta stuff up there. Listen, all of y'all that think that people are your friends, he had Sinetta on the big screen in there. He had
Hey, Sa, is you listening? Is you listening? This brother said he had you all over the big screen, bruh. This nigga had you in court, fam. Man, listen. These niggas who claiming they your friends, they not your friends for real. Yo, Sa, I hope you paying attention. I hope you just heard that. Hold on, let me rewind that real quick. Because the brother was actually right. Mixtape Killer 2004, he was actually right. Peace, I see you back there, Jose. What's going on? You all right?
Yeah, what's up? What's up? I was watching. This is from Genesis channel, right?
No, no, this is not. This is my channel, bro. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying the video you're reviewing is from Genesis channel, correct?
No, this is from Taharka Bay's channel.
Oh no, because okay. All right.
Yeah, nah, it's cool. Yeah, let me just play this little part right here really quick, and then we'll get to your thoughts and ideas, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Come on now. You didn't went too far. Man, when I tell y'all the details of this, he put Sinetta stuff up there. Listen, all of y'all that think that people are your friends, he had Sinetta on the big screen in there. He had a few other social media knowns and unknowns. Like, he was pulling everybody out. He was throwing everybody under the bus. He said, he literally implied that he got the information from Sinetta. Oh no!
Damn.
Hold up. They didn't.
Hold on. First, real quick.
And his name is John C.
Shouts out to the big bro, Thindo with the motherfucking extendo. Peace to you. Keon says, Merry Christmas, T-Pain. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Yeah, yo. He said he got the information that the brother Taharka Bey was a registered sex offender from Sinetta. Yo, that's crazy. Oh my God. This is why. Yo, get the fuck out of here. Yo, something in the milk ain't clean, yo. Something in the fucking milk ain't clean. Hit the like button real quick. So hold on, man. Hold the fuck on. This nigga's claiming Sinetta told him that Taharka Bey was a goddamn registered sex offender. Oh shit. Man, look. God damn. God damn. Yo, what the fuck? Man, look. Something in the milk ain't clean, my nigga. Something ain't right, bro. Something ain't right. But hey, we gonna talk about it. Peace. We got my brother Qube Crisis in this motherfucker. Peace to you, bro. Yeah, let's go ahead with Jose Francis, man. What are your thoughts and ideas on this particular topic?
Well, I was watching it on DJ Genesis, and she was doing a review of the video, and he really said that when he went in there, Tariq Nasheed had several YouTube personalities throwing them under the bus, and he really said that Sinetta said it first, and that's where Tariq Nasheed got it from. Because they were beefing at one point. I didn't see him say that.
Hold on, who was beefing?
At one point.
Hold on.
Sonetta and Taharka Bey apparently were having.
Oh yes. Yeah, I remember that years ago.
No,
but
I never heard him. No, I never heard him make any claim about the man being a sex offender.
Yeah, I never heard it. Yeah, I remember them beefing years ago because I remember around the parts or so when him and Nepal got together. This is something I didn't agree with, and I must say it. This brother was kind of like putting the pictures up and shit like that, talking about, because her pictures was circulating around, different groups and shit like that. I've never seen the pictures. I don't want to see the pictures, anything like that, but they were circulating. And this brother was kind of operating around that shit, which I thought was fucked up at the time. That's why I never really fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? But when he started talking about the FBA stuff, I was like, okay, all right, whatever. I can kind of groove with that. But I'll say this. I never heard the brother Sinetta say nothing like that. But I can't take it off of the table like it's not something a person would say to try to fight back if you're trying to defend the honor of your woman. I'm not saying he said it, but at the same time, there is, a little bit there to give a reason why a person would say something like that. Not saying he said it, because I've never heard him say nothing like that publicly. But, damn, that's crazy as shit. That's why I said. But go ahead, bro.
They said like Tariq was throwing allegedly everybody under the bus. It wasn't just Sinetta, apparently. Allegedly, it was several other people that he put up there too. He didn't say specifically who, but Qube said when he went in there, he threw a couple of them under the bus allegedly.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, just to respond to that. When Qube gets back home to the East Coast and he's back, he's gonna talk about a lot of those people that that the brother was bringing up, and I ain't gonna lie, that was a shock to me, because when the brother said it in the chat, he was like, he was talking about Sinetta, telling them this and this and that. I was like, bro, I was like, bro, how do you know that, number one? Like, how do you know that? And then he said it. I was like, oh shit. Like, so yeah, that's a little bit wild. But Qube Crisis, peace, bro. What you got on this, man? Qube Crisis, you there? All right. Well, maybe we'll have to come back to him. But yeah, Jose, did you want to add anything else? Anything else onto that?
I want to see if the court documents are going to come out, to see what happened in court. That's what I want to see. So I don't know if that's ever going to come out.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy, because and the reason why I'm so shocked and flabbergasted, because I remember listening to a stream to where Sinetta was like, yeah, me and Tariq is cool, and every time he come to NYC, he tap in, da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, this nigga got you on the fucking big stage, just throwing dirt all on your motherfucking name, like crazy shit, bro. So I'm definitely interested to see, what comes of that shit. Like, damn, that's definitely a new revelation to myself.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Crazy. Like even if and see, this shows you the scumbaggery of a nigga, right? Because what if I tell you some shit like that, but I'm just kind of joking, and then you take that to court and use that? You know what I'm saying? What if I say something like, man, that nigga probably a fucking registered sex offender, and then you go to court and use that on me to put me up there? Like, what? To dirty my face? Because let's say Sinetta did say that. How the fuck are we supposed to know the context behind this shit? Was it a joke? Was it just in jest? Was it word for word how the nigga said it in court? There's so many layers to it. It's crazy. But yo, that's just wild, bro. I can't believe the nerve of niggas to save themselves, bro. This shows you what type of nigga this is, bro.
I want to say he didn't do it, huh? I want to believe he didn't do that.
No, bro. We don't live there, bro. We don't live there to where we hope and we wish and we pray. No, Only thing we can say is exactly what we said already, is that we've never heard Sinetta say that shit. We've never heard him
Never.
say it, and that's all the fuck we have. We don't have anything else, so we can't pray he didn't say it. Because what happens if he fucking did say it? Then what? Now we all looking stupid trying to wish and pray and all of this other. No, I'm not doing that. I've never heard the brother said it. Excuse me, I've never heard the brother say it. It doesn't mean he didn't say it. You know, and that's just what that is. Listen, when niggas first heard about the shit that Polite was doing, niggas was doing that same shit. Oh man, I hope he didn't. Oh man, I wish. No, fuck that, bro. We have to take the information in, and once we get better information, we replace it with what the fuck we know now. Like that's it.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Like there's nothing more that we
But
can do.
But they were beefing, and he definitely has some unflattering things to say about the Hawker. As far as that, we never heard him say, so we're not gonna put that on him.
Yeah,
but I'm sure at some point, Sanet is going to respond to that for sure.
Well,
he's going to respond to.
I hope so.
I want
because,
to believe he will.
And let me say this, like you're 100% right, bro. Like we can't put it on the brother because we never heard him say this shit. You know what I'm saying? But we have to look at it. The only way we can look at it is that this dude was in court. Excuse me, this dude was in court pointing. You know what I'm saying? Like how you in court pointing out, like, yeah, this nigga said this and this. He told me, like, come on, bro. Like that in and of itself would make me not want to fuck with you, even if I wasn't the person that you was naming names of. Like, come on, bro. What type of shit is that? Like, come on, bro.
That's not cool.
Yeah, that's not cool, bro. Because
that's I would somebody do that to me. Huh?
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. Like, if me and you laughing and joking about something, or even if I did say the shit, why the fuck are you putting me into the shit, bro? You know what I'm saying? Now you got motherfuckers at my door asking me about this and that. It's like, come on, man. This is some shit between y'all two niggas. You know?
That's true.
But yeah, that's just crazy as hell, dog.
But I really want to see these transcripts and see what went on in court. Because I remember him talking about it on Sunday, in fact, that he did slap the shit out of Talker. But he said that on Sunday show too. You know
he did? Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
They did some interview where he said that Tariq said him and Tariq Nasheed said him and Talker was having some beef. And they even have a video of Talker running up on Tariq Nasheed and getting the shit slapped out of him. So that happened.
But see, I don't need an interview from Tariq Nasheed saying he did it. When he's on camera, he made a video of him saying, I just slapped the shit out of Tahaka Bay. That bitch ass nigga ran down the street. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, because he did say it.
Yeah, like he made it. He made a video right after this event supposedly happened. Well, at this point, we don't even have to say supposedly or allegedly that it did happen. He made a video about it. I just slapped the shit out of that bitch ass nigga to Hawker Bay. You know? And Qube Crisis
on tape too. The whole thing is on tape. They have a video of the Hawker Bay getting slapped.
Right, they do. And that video is from like his building or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was outside the museum. It was outside of his museum, like the Hawker Bay ran up on him.
Yeah. But it's real grainy though. I think I saw the footage, but it's real grainy. But Qube Crisis, what you got on this? You got your joint figured out, bro?
Yeah, my fault. I had to run in the store and I don't know. Whatchamacallit, all right. I really don't want to say too much because I'm just going to keep it all the way funky with you. I don't like the concept. I don't.
That makes two of us.
I don't like a lot of people in the conscious community. I don't. I think that, and I'm talking about the ones that do disinformation. The people who do the misinformation, it's but it's like it's misinformation. They may not know better on certain information they kick. But a lot of these dudes, I could give two fucks, bro. Honestly, I could care less. I think they're scumbags, and I don't care. And I think there's a lot of just people full of shit. But what I would say is what I find really ironic is FBA, which in my humble 2 pesos of opinion is a abo cult. is what it is. That they took all this shit and got a fucking whack ass website of who and what the fucking FBA is, but you got white people as your lawyers. You couldn't get no black lawyers, but you got white lawyers. So I guess maybe that's going to be the next argument is Tariq Nasheed lost because he didn't have an FBA lawyer. I don't know. But they full of shit, and he could go fuck himself.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, see, the reason what happened is they didn't have no ABO lawyers. If they would have had the original ABO lawyers, they would have been able to do this and this and that and the third. Nah, nigga. Your case was flimsy. You slapped the man, you defamed the man, you slandered him, and that's really all it is. And you said it's an ABO cult, but I want to add another part. It's an ABO cult and a black hate group. It's a hate group, bro.
Well, I would say by default, ABO is a hate group. And what I mean by that is...
Yeah, because they're stealing the fucking identity of actual Aboriginal people.
Yeah, it's self-hatred. Like, they're not out physically hurting people, right? But they verbally attack people. They definitely present disinformation and misinformation.
Yeah.
And they are culture vultures.
Yeah.
And they are full of self-hatred. So, in that sense of a hate group, yeah, but I think that there's... I'm trying to connect some dots here with it, but I just find it very interesting is that with Mr. Donald Duck, his first term, and you see all these racist white capitalist scumbags out here, and then just the capitalist period that just all of a sudden they got these titanium balls that they want to talk shit and say you should be in this country and the country you come from ain't shit and it's this is all this derogatory divisive talk.
Right.
And I just find it very interesting that in the rise of FBA, which comes from ADOS, and FBA being inspired by Claude Anderson, right?
Supposedly.
So it's a spin-off. To me it's very much weirdly connected with MAGA. It's very much weirdly connected. To me, what I see is black people that act like racist white people.
Yes.
That talk shit about how white people mistreat them and say this and say that, but you turn around and do the same motherfucking shit that's been done to you, but you do it to other people.
Bro,
and it doesn't, and it's contradictory, and it's like it gives me flashbacks to September 11th. September 11th, when that happened, this was a great time between black and white people in this country. Because the enemy was no longer targeted on black people, it was now targeted on Arab and Muslims. And I recall when that happened to see a lot of blacks and a lot of Latinos feel as though the pressure's off me. It's on them fucking stand-ins over there. It's on those Muslims over there. So we good now, master. Like, we good. We riding with you. To me, that's why it's a bunch of bunk dads and coons, bro. Like, I don't care if they Mexican. I don't care if they Cuban. I don't care if they Black American. I don't care if they Irish. They're all a bunch of coons. And they're all a bunch of capitalist scumbag sellouts. And it's just, this shit is just, like, ridiculous, yo. This shit is just, like, retarded. It is. It's just like, yo, look at the website. The website tells you. And it annoys me when people talk about this FBA shit. Look at the fucking website. Use your two eyeballs, right? And use the thing in your skull called a brain and use some reading comprehension and look at what the flag says it means. What is the first star on the flag? It is telling you that it is saying that black people in the so-called Americas were black people. They were not what we thought were indigenous people. These are black people. So this is what, that's to me, it's like if somebody says, well, I'm FBA, but I don't mean that. To me, that's like saying, I'm an Asiatic black man, but I don't mean it from the Nation of Islam. I don't mean it from the Nation of Gods of Earth. Right. I don't mean it from the Moors, but I'm an Asiatic. So what? You would not be saying Asiatic black man
had it not been for the NOI.
Exactly. And you would not be saying FBA if it did not come from this. So cut the shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous, bro. They all can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I made that correlation about a year ago because I saw everything that MAGA, all of their talking points, just aligned with everything that FBA says. MAGA wants to get rid of the illegal, the illegal immigrants, and so do they. And then and then you ask them the question, well, why? Well, oh, because they're taking stuff that we're supposed to be getting. What does MAGA say? Well, they're taking our jobs. So everything correlates. Like it all fits perfectly, neatly into this little box. Everything fits, bruh. Had it not been for Donald Trump pushing the hatred, listen, you just had Donald Trump recently, as recent as 2 weeks ago, talk about the Somalians saying that they have a shithole country. These people are just murderous thieves and disgusting. All they want to do is kill. They're defrauding Minnesota. All of this shit, bro. Like, how can you talk about people that way, dog? Like that is just so wild. And then that's exactly how FBA talks about them. Same way. Same damn way, bro.
And it's like, there's shithole countries, right? So go down the list of all the so-called shithole countries. But all those shithole countries, your capitalist ass wants to go there and take the natural resources of the land. Your ass wants to go there and make resorts. Your ass wants to go there and destabilize a country.
Facts.
If they shithole, why are you doing all that then? Why are you doing all that? So to me, it's like a person that says, like if you, let's just say a racist white person, right? And they go, I don't like black people. And then they turn and say, well, I'll fuck a black woman.
Right.
But they this, that, and the third, but you'll have intercourse with a woman. Mm-hmm. They this, that, and the third, but you want to go and steal the natural resources. They this, that, and the third, but you want to destabilize their country. You want to meddle in their affairs. You want to justify to them, oh, we got to get the oil because the cocaine. But you just released somebody who had 400 tons of fucking cocaine.
Bro, that's so crazy what Donald Trump is doing. He's pardoning these people. So he's convinced these stupid white folk that, oh man, all of these drugs and stuff are coming into the country. But then he goes and pardons the dude that we know that had the drugs coming into the country. And then secondly, about your other point, this is how they manufacture consent. It's because they talk so much trash about these other countries, but then, like you say, they go in, rob, take the resources, destabilize to where these people can never actually be sovereign and self-sufficient. America goes in and takes everything from these countries.
Yeah, bro.
But here's something, but here's something that we have to look at too. Some of those leaders of those countries are complicit in what's going on. That is why you're having these coups in these countries. Because the leaders are corrupt and they're encouraging it. And this is why you see the military taking over some of these countries.
Yeah, but
some of these guys are half-breeds and all kind of thing. And they're dealing with women who are spies in France and all these other countries too. So you have to become something.
But hold on. To be fair, I understand that aspect. I 100% understand it. But from my point of view, that's victim blaming. That's victim blaming, bro. So you telling me that we have these people in these other countries who they want to sell out their people, but then America comes and then just does it, and then we're supposed to say, well, look, they allowed it. No, that's victim blaming, bro.
No, what I'm saying is countries like Burkina Faso and those places, some of these guys that man was complicit, whether he knew it or not, in some of those things. I'm not saying all of those countries. That's not a fact.
No. Listen.
No,
hold on.
Niger, I'm quite sure.
Hold on. No. I understand what you're saying 100%, and I'm not taking the fault off of the presidents and the heads of state that engage with America stealing resources. I'm not taking the blame off of them, but at the same time, we have to put, like, perfect example. So you have a woman, right, that goes to this high-powered company, and the CEO tells her she can move up if he just has sex with her. So now when you look at it, you say, well, she is to blame partially because she engaged in the sexual activity, but he's the one that has all the fucking power to do the shit. This is why the whole Me Too movement even got off the ground. So but this is the same thing that's taking place with these other third world countries, if you will, or like this is what's happening.
It's I think for me, can you hear me or no?
No, I can hear you, bro.
Oh, okay, I know, because it got like silent, so I thought my own thing. For me, I put blame on both.
You have to.
Like it's okay. Like if you look at I don't name whatever country, right, and you see a coup transpired, right, meddling in elections, destabilizing the country economically and socially and morally, like everything's just destroyed, right? And you got these people that are in power, and sometimes they may come in the name of socialism. Sometimes they may come in the name of these things. They're nothing more than capitalist,
Right.
just masquerading as such and such. And it's complacent because it's just a thing of, a person just really being greedy and not caring about their people, not caring about the interests of their nation and selling out and but at the same time, like I get what you're saying. It's like the person who, oh man,
Hold on. Check this out. Check this out.
I didn't, hold on. Like when somebody said, I didn't make the person buy drugs from me.
Right.
It's two. It's two. You're enabling the person to buy the drugs by having the drugs, but the person's wrong for purchasing the drugs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's context to it. It's context on both ends. I mean, it is.
Right. So check this out. Perfect example. When we look at the slave trade, who are the people that we blame mostly for it? We blame the white Europeans. Yes. Did black Africans have a hand in it? Of course. But we blame the Europeans. Because that's just what it is. They had the power to actually make this thing happen. Just because black Africans wanted to sell their people, what if there were no buyers? Then what? Just because you have a country and you want to sell out your people, if there's nobody there to buy it and actually go out and make it happen, then it doesn't happen. So you have to blame the person with the most power that's actually able to see it through and make it happen. And this is why this is why the Europeans get the most blame for slavery, and then a lot of stuff that they did after that. But when we look at the slave trade, but this is why white people say, well, Africans were selling Africans. Yeah, that is true. I can sell a stolen laptop, but nigga, you bought it. You know what I'm saying? You had the money to purchase it. You could have not purchased it. You knew it was stolen. So it's just one of those things to where we both blame, we blame both sides, but at the same time, both sides are not equal. Both sides are not equal. Are they both to blame? Yes. When white people put drugs in the black communities, are you wrong for using it and purchasing the drugs? Yes. But the person that's selling it to you, they're even more wrong because they know that is wrong what they're doing. They know 100%.
I'm with you because I really believe that when these Africans were selling their people, some of them really didn't understand what they were doing. I don't think they fully understood what they were doing. And then there's the idea of them wanting to survive. So they had to make the choice sometimes reluctantly to do that for their own survival. But eventually some of them came to their senses and stopped doing it. And they even apologized and, were very contrite about doing it. But the European never did apologize. They never felt bad about it. But the Africans have since apologized and opened their borders. And to me, they're very welcoming to Black Americans and diaspora Africans.
Yeah, but when it comes to that situation, it was a little bit too late for them to just say, oh, my bad, I messed up. No. For them, this is why I've said and I've always said that Africans also owe us black Americans reparations too. I've always said that and I've always stood by that before this FBA thing has ever even been a thing. I've always said that and I still stand on that today because they had a part in what happened. They had a part. And I'm not buying the shit that they were just totally ignorant. Was there some ignorance there, especially initially? We can all agree on that. But you got to understand, this is something that happened for about 200 goddamn years. How long do we play the ignorance game that they didn't know what the fuck they was doing?
Yeah, I mean, because at some point they're gonna have to understand, well, what is the transaction that's going on? Like, what exactly is happening when you take these people to wherever you take them?
Right.
Like, I could see it first for a while, but after a minute, it's like, okay, you don't know that if you took those people and you sent them to El Salvador, on the coast side of El Salvador, like, you don't know who, like,
you know what's up.
It's business. You know what I'm saying? Like any business, you know. Let me say this right, because I never owned a business, but I know people that have businesses, right? And I know people who have businesses, and I know the other people they have the business with. And there's things that they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just to be oblivious. I'm not here. I don't buy that. I think that's
I can buy it, but I can't buy it for 200 years. Because for the first maybe 30, 40 years, this was their first introduction to what capitalism was. Because you got to think what they were actually getting. They were getting rusty guns, wine, bullshit like that, and they would be able to get gain power and control over their particular region by enslaving other people that they would, sell out. So for the first 50 years, okay, I'll give you that mulligan. But for 250 years, nah, we can't play the ignorance game. We have to understand that these people knew. And see, this is what FBA, they kind of play on that ignorance and then they expand it. You know what I'm saying? They expanded it. They want to play on that ignorance with the Africans, being got. Because there is no fair trade that you can trade a human being for some wine or some old fucking rusty muskets. Like there is no trade. Like there's nothing you can trade for a human being. That come on, like give me a break. You know what I'm saying? So we can give the continental Africans a break for about 50, maybe even 70 years if we want to stretch it. But no more than that. They were complicit in what the fuck was happening. But ultimately, we have to blame it on the fucking European because they had the means to actually make this shit happen. If Africans was attempting to sell other Africans and there was no buyers, then the slave trade would have died and it would have died that same day.
Just to add context, what you said. That way, I agree with your statement, but that way, if somebody hears what you say, there's some people who like to play with what you say. Right, and it's been done to me, and they'll say, "Oh, so you're saying that slavery started with white people?"
Oh, get out of here! That's crazy.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but when that's being stated to those out there in La La Land that like to play with that shit and try to make us look like we're fucking retarded or whatever, we're talking about in a time frame of a particular continent and continents, because not just North America and Africa, South America. Then you got Central America, the Caribbean, and you also got England, right? It is within that time frame of talking slavery.
Right. And see, niggas can't take what I said out of context because what I prefaced it by, I said that the West Africans, they were being introduced to capitalism for the first time. That's only one time in history.
Oh, I got something for that. Then you got people who say, well, it may have not been called capitalism, but there was a form of capitalism.
Damn, yeah. Niggas always gonna try to flip it.
They always gonna try to flip it because what it is they try to flip it to justify things because there's certain things that they stand on to support that if they go against that grain, let's just say they're not pro-America. By perhaps taking that position you then would have to see some issues with your government, whether what party it is. You know what I'm saying? And there's some people they just want to. To me, I've noticed a lot of people will, and I know you're atheist, and I have no issue with that, right? I'm a creationist, right? But I personally think both can coexist, and I don't think there's a need to debate and argue. Personally, I don't. My best friend is an atheist, and we never have arguments. But I think that what I'm seeing is people who will talk shit about, say, religion, talk shit about a scripture, but yet uphold capitalism and uphold the Republican and Democratic Party as if that is the Torah, as if that is the Bible, as if that is the Quran, as if that is Bhagavad Gita, as if it's whatever. And they do the same thing in reversal. And what's crazy to me is it's like, at least, how can you take the position you have? Because this is tangible. We're not talking religion where there's esoteric,
right?
Or you can't say things you can't explain, and that's a fact, right? But in the sense of what you can see, hear, taste, and touch right before your eyes, and what you can see on your TV or on your phone, and what you can read in a book and meet people that lived during particular times in this country or wherever they were from the world, this is tangible. So that's why to me, it's very unexcusable. And to me, I think it's very sick when people justify and are like, they try to make you feel bad because you don't salute the flag or you're not pro-America. And it's just like, well,
hold on. Let me add on to something you said, because you made a lot of good points. Now, I've never met a socialist or communist FBA member. Why is that? Why haven't I ever heard of a FBA member that's a socialist or a communist? And the reason is why is because of what you just said. Because they're so pro-America. And what is America? America is capitalist through and through. But the thing about the funny part about it, like the huge contradiction, is if they were actually Aboriginal, they would understand that Aboriginals were actually fucking communists. So it's a huge contradiction, even in their logic, the way that they think they want to be Native Americans. The Native Americans were actually goddamn communists. There was no competition to where they was competing for buying this and selling that. Get out of here with that. That's wild. So like that's
give you context on communists in case people would try to say, "Oh, you try to say they're Marxists." No.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying though.
Right. So when I'm talking about that they were communists, they were the original people to where they would use what they had to share it amongst everybody, to where there wasn't competition, to where one person would just have this extreme amount of wealth and whatever they had, and then other people, a part of their tribes or whatever the case, had the least. That didn't fucking exist. That didn't exist.
Are you saying amongst, like you're talking about like so-called Native Americans?
Right.
Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, they practice a form of communism.
I would say, like, this is like, I'm not saying this to debate you. I'm not saying this. It's just, conversation. I don't like to debate people. But like, if you, for example, let's just throw the Mayans. I would disagree with you on that, or say the Incas. Like a huge empire like that, they're no different than ancient Egypt. They were a hierarchy. They looked down at the people. You know what I'm saying? They were probably more educated than the rest of the people. So there was like, but if you talk, like, say, I don't know, in Honduras, some Tainos or Arawaks or something, it probably would have been a lot different in the sense of what you're talking.
Well, no. Hold on. I would even agree with you on that if we then begin to point out specific cultures, but even within pointing out those specific cultures, you don't get a fucking capitalist. Not in these ancient societies, you don't get capitalists. What you get is you get something closer to communism, but by and large, when we look at Native Americans, the majority of their society, the way how it operated, was an ancient communist society. That's because when you start to look at Marx and Engels, that's kind of how they got a little bit of their philosophy from. Is they looked back at these ancient cultures. They didn't get it specifically for that because when you look at when you start to talk about Marxism, it's really a critique of capitalism, but you can only critique capitalism by looking at what else was there. Because if you don't do that, then you get what?
Plus, it wouldn't have been if in which they, there's cases where they were enslaving their own people, and treating them people wrong. They knew from the rip what it was. There was no justification of like, we're doing this because you're this classification of race, or we're doing this because
listen, because you were this caste or whatever the case. Listen, they had caste systems. We could talk about that, but nowhere in any of these ancient societies that you would see capitalism. Like that shit just didn't exist.
When you say for me, when you say it, I just think of economic exploitation. If you're saying economic exploitation, I think that that's just a thing that has been here since prostitution. It's a thing that's been here as long as overeating. It's a thing. It's just, I think that that's just an unfortunate behavior of humans. That somebody always wants to have fucking more than the next. When they don't, you don't need it. You want it, but you don't need it. There's the difference of need and want.
But see, that's the thing, though. Capitalism just doesn't boil down to greed. There's so many other intricacies that are within it. It's not just greed that one person wants more. You have to look at how they have the ability to manipulate the fucking system to where they then can get more. Just because I may want an extra burger than my little brother, that's greed. But now you have to look at, how did I manipulate him? I had to tell my little brother, hey, if you give me your burger, I'll do this for you, or whatever the case may be. So now I get 2 burgers, to where he ended up getting fucked, to where now he's hungry, even though I may do something else for him, but now I get 2 burgers. So it's not just greed. There's also the system that's in place to where they utilize it to then cause that economic harm. You see what I'm saying?
But let's look at something like ancient Mali, right? Mansa Musa was an individual who was in charge of great wealth. And he gave out that wealth indiscriminately. And at the end of the day, some people in the country are mad at him now because he became a Muslim and he took the money and gave it to Islam. So they're upset with him for doing that. But on the whole, he was a generous person. So now that generosity is being used against him because he shouldn't have given it to Muslims.
And that's crazy. Because
I do understand where they're coming from.
Nah, I don't understand it. Listen.
It's a personal It's a personal decision. Like if somebody wants to be this thing, if they want to be a Hare Krishna, it's because they want to be a Hare Krishna. If they want to be agnostic atheist because they want to be, then that's their fucking business. And life existed before them, and life will exist after them. That's why I argue God and shit with people. Because it doesn't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things. It's beyond. If he's real, there's nothing I can do about it. If he's not real, there's nothing I can do about it.
Right,
so it's like if he became Muslim and he gives wealth to Muslims, so the fuck what?
But this is the point. But this is the point that man was generous with everyone, and because he was so generous, they say he went to eat to ancient Kemet and gave so much money, he fucked up the economy because he was so generous. And this is why I'm saying generosity can be used against you, even if you're generous.
Now I'll say I agree with you. But I will say, if he gave his wealth to what's called Khawarij, to extremists, is that they were existing in the time of Mansa Musa, the
No,
Khawarij.
definitely.
Let me say this and tell me what you guys think about.
If he gave it to something like, if he gave it to them people, I would, yeah, that's a problem.
Let me say this.
And this is what. And
Hold on,
this
real
is
quick.
what-
Let me say this and tell me what you guys think about this. And, you know, just my personal opinion on it. If he was given his, we got to understand this. If he had the type of wealth that history says he had, then that would tell us that his people shouldn't want for anything. So if he then begins to spread that wealth, then why should there be a problem with him spreading that wealth? Now, the problem may come in down the line if he's doing shit like America does, to where they give money to these groups that then rise up and then bite their ass in the back, to where they control them to attack somebody else, and then that group rises up to attack them. Then I can follow your logic and where you're going. But
Yes.
but just off of the strength of, I have wealth to give out, and if my people don't want for anything, why is it that we should have a problem? Because see, last thing I'll say and I'll pass it. When you look at USAID, just off of the thought, just off of the machination, what the fuck it was supposed to be, listen, just off of that, it shouldn't be a problem with giving money to countries that need it. But the way how America dispersed those funds is they dispersed those funds to countries so they could control them. That is when it becomes a problem. But just giving out money to other countries, that should never be a problem to help your fellow human on the earth. But tell me what you guys think about that.
Well, that's why I emphasize Khawarij in the point of with Muslims.
Yeah, I don't know what
Because
that
it's-
is. You got to explain what that is. I don't know what that is.
The Khawarij is after, okay. It's one of, there was the three original sects of Islam, or the Shiite, the Khawarij, and the Mu'tazila. These like the three original sects. So Khawarij is an extremist, but a Khawarij has context. You could be considered Khawarij if you're excessive in your prayers, right? That's considered extremism, because you're going beyond what you should be, what you're permitted to do. But what the world typically says is extremists, they're talking about the people who blow themselves up and kill innocent people and destroy property, and they're crazy. Those Khawarij were alive during the time of the Sahaba. They were alive during those times. They killed Uthman, who was one of the caliphs, the four caliphs. They were responsible for his murder. So these were extremists, and they've existed. These were, I would also say that those, when people talk about Muslims enslaving Africans, those were Khawarij, because they went beyond the means of the permissibility of when it gets into people called slavery, right? And there was things they did that was incorrect. They were Khawarij. So if he's giving his money to those people, and as you say, turn around, finance themselves, and go out and cause havoc, that's not good. I totally agree with you.
Yeah. We would all
Now,
have to
I don't
agree with that. Like, because at that point, these people are biting the hand that fed them. And it just shows you that these people have some kind of bloodlust or power lust to where they just want to take over. And this is why people have so many issues with Islam, because there's these small sects that think like that. Whereas when it comes to Christianity, they have sects that think like that. And they're here in America. They're in Idaho. They're in Nebraska. They want to change the laws to where your kids have to read the fucking stupid Bible, stuff like that. So they are everywhere. But this is why the reason why a lot of people have problems with these Islamic groups. But yeah, I agree with that overall.
Yeah, but if you're an African, right, and you understand that they call it the Islamic or Arab invasion, then you know already they didn't come there to play with you. They came there with swords out killing people. So how can you justify giving wealth that belongs to the country, really? because all the wealth in the country, based on him being the leader, basically he could do it as he pleased. He was the absolute leader. So people have a right to be upset to say that you're giving to the enemy.
So let me ask you this.
That is how they came.
So hold on. Let me ask you this: Should he try to build an army to stomp those people out and then just decimate them all, so he didn't have to deal with them? Would that have been the better strategy according to you?
I'm not saying that would have been the better strategy.
No. I'm not making you the arbiter. I'm just asking what you think.
Well, I would think if he'd have put up a fight, I probably would have been happy. If I saw a fight, I would have been happy.
No, that's not answering the question. I'm asking you.
Should he have done that? I guess he should have.
Okay.
I wasn't there to know the situation, but I guess if he did, I'd have felt better about it. But I don't know the situation.
See, me, I'm more of a humanist to where I don't. My first thought isn't to just stamp out a group, build an army, and stamp out that group. That's what an empire does. To where they just want to stamp out the damn group, fuck them, steamroll them, and then replace them with other people that will, pay tribute or rock with whatever the empire wants to do. I'm not interested in doing that. Now, with my line of thinking, I am susceptible. I'm more susceptible to that thing happening to me, to where I help this group out, they build themselves up, and then they attack me. These are just the facts of life, and this is how nature works. But at the same time, we also see it throughout USAID, and this is why they did that, is because when President John F. Kennedy instituted USAID, he also said it's going to be harder for these countries to grow up, to have their children grow up and hate America when they're the country that's feeding you and helping you. So I'd rather help, which is what we call soft power, to try to help, but not in the fashion, obviously how America tries to do things. But I would rather try to help some people move up, but I am more susceptible to people biting me in the back. That is just a fact, and I can't get around that.
Two things. You guys are giving me a homework assignment, because I never looked into whether Mansa Musa was born Muslim or he reverted to being Muslim.
Apparently, well, I would imagine that he was probably born a Muslim, because when you look at Timbuktu is in Mali, so they're heavily Islamic. Definitely.
Yeah.
So
At the time period, he was probably born Muslim.
I'm sure he was born a Muslim.
Hey, Cuban Crisis, are you a Muslim?
Am I a Muslim?
I feel a little Muslim in there for some reason.
Me too.
Like
It could be.
I'm hearing a little Islam in your voice.
Hey, listen, it could be. Hey, listen, people hear me.
A little Islam in my voice.
Hey, no, not like that. No, I'm not offended. Hey, listen, people listen. People will hear me defend the LGBT community and call me gay. So it's just a natural thing. No.
I'm not offended by it. It's a long story. I'll just say this much. I have a love for the religion. A lot of it I agree with. My issues more kind of come down to individuals versus the religion overall. So that's like the position. I try not to be biased with things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, so you an individualite? No, I'm just playing.
yeah, I'm from the tribe of individualite. But no, what I was gonna say is that keep in mind too that prior to the Arabs invading Africa, that even before Prophet Muhammad made hijrah to go to Medina, before he was kicked out of Mecca, there was Sahaba that went to Africa. So there was actually Muslims in Africa prior to the hijrah to Medina, which was way before the Arab invasion. There was Sahaba that was sent all over. I mean, you have tombs, you have masjids in China that are very old, that there was Sahaba that went there. It was the expansionism was very large.
Yo, That's real. Because I never knew that Islam penetrated China until I actually started to study China. Even though it's not like on the mainland, if you will, but it is like in the western part of China, and I never knew that. But real quick, Kajunk KVSH says, "Are you saying that we live to hate on the ancestors, or are you saying we live to hate on the ancestors?" And if you feel that way, brother, that's really not the case. But I did drop the link if you want to join the stream to voice your opinion. But I'm not hating on no ancestors, bro. Like that's
you gotta have constructive criticism. You can't be biased.
Yeah.
Because once you lose the constructive criticism and stuff, you become utopic. In the picture of romanticism is painted as if it's like if I romanticized Cuba and said, "Oh, prior to the Spaniards, the Tainos were in utopic living,
and everything was great, and it was perfect,
so peaceful and perfect." Bullshit. It's not true.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, so it's not that, but it's just that once people begin to run rampant and start to think that, and all groups of people do this, that they think that their people. I mean, look at America. America can never do wrong in the eyes of the pro-American.
That's facts.
And if they do, they say, well, the evil had to meet the better end because I don't have to worry about a tank in front of my house, and I can go here and do this, and I don't have to worry about missiles and stuff. So it's not good they did that, but they had to do it, so they wouldn't be doing this over here. It's justified,
listen.
It's bro. You gotta critique.
I'll tell you this, just real quick. Just real quick. I'll tell you this. Utopian societies don't exist, bro. But dystopian societies, they do. That's the crazy dynamic, is that utopian societies don't exist, they won't exist, but dystopian societies, we're living in one right now. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand how these things work, bro. We have to understand how they work. And our ignorance of these things is kind of leads us to where we are right now. But go ahead if anybody wanted to chime in on that.
Yeah, but if we're looking at ancient African civilization, you can't compare them to European civilization.
Yes, you can.
In terms of talking about barbarism, I wouldn't.
Yes, you can, bro.
I wouldn't compare the two. I wouldn't say that. I'm not saying they're perfect, but it wasn't as barbarous as Europeans. I don't see that.
But you just said that we can't make a comparison, and then went on to make a comparison saying that it wasn't as barbarous. You have to understand, we're talking about primitive people. So how can you not compare two groups of primitive people? One group of people.
Now, let me explain this, right? Like
okay.
For example, ancient Kemet was a very powerful civilization, but they did not take it upon themselves to say that we want to control the world. They only wanted to control their immediate environment.
How do we know that?
Well, they never did it. They only wanted to control their immediate environment.
Hold on, but no, that's not answer. But how do we know that that's not something that they set out to do?
Well, I'll say this: they didn't do it.
No, but just because, listen, do you remember that cartoon Pinky and the Brain? They always wanted to take over the world. They weren't able to do it, but they wanted to do it. So I'm not saying that to chastise ancient Kemet, but number one, I don't know enough, thus the question. But who's to say that they didn't want to take over? Because to me, it sounds like, from what I understand, that they took over the known world.
Well, but remember, at that time, the known world was pretty small.
Yeah, but but you're making my point. They took over the known world.
I don't want to say. I want to say the known world. They took over their immediate environment. They wanted control of their immediate environment because they wanted to live a certain way. And now, coming from America, I can understand why you want to control your immediate environment. I can understand the need to do that. Whether I can disagree or not, I understand when you're living in a country that you don't control. You don't get to live the way that you want to live. So they had to control a certain area for them to live the way that they wanted to live.
And let me say this. This is not an echo chamber, bro. Hey, Cuba, you might have to mute. I'm hearing myself back. This is not an echo chamber, bro. It's okay for us to disagree on things, and it's totally okay, bro. We could disagree and whatever, and it's not a big deal, bro. So if you feel that way, I kind of think a little bit different. I think if they had the machine, and when I say the machine, I mean if they had the artillery, the army to take over more, and the bodies to do so, I think they would have. That's just me personally. I think they would have, because I understand. I mean, I don't fully understand it. I'm not a expert or anything, but I do have an understanding of empire. And an empire, you can never fully fill an empire. They're never going to be full. They always want more and more and more. And when we look at a lot of these ancient societies, they reflect what we see today in the empire of America, to where America is constantly trying to get more and more and more, to where eventually they fall. So much so that they reach out and try to get so much to bring back, but then when they try to bring it back, there's nothing there, because the society that they're trying to bring it back to has already fallen. Case in point, when you look at what they're trying to do right now to Venezuela, and especially Afghanistan and Iraq, we spent $3-4 trillion over there, while everybody else in the world that had access to $3 or $4 trillion chose to build up their society, whereas America, we chose to neglect our society. And then we had to push neoliberalism, so much so to where now basic things like food stamps and healthcare and childcare, now we're telling people, oh, well, you just need to get a better job. You see what I'm saying? So I understand empire, and if I were to place that idea and thought on ancient Kemet, they probably would have went out the same way. But I don't know enough to actually say that. But go ahead.
I've read enough text to think that they wasn't into we had to control everybody. I don't see that. That a specific area they wanted to control.
That's fair.
They had and they had beef with people. Some people was their brothers and we didn't treat them as harshly. Some people were straight savages. We don't like these people. We go treat them as savages. And I think that that's okay in war. That's what you do in war. You have enemies, and there's not, I wouldn't expect them not to have war, but I don't think they was that consumed by war. I think people exaggerate to think that all they were doing was just warring with everybody. That's not true. They had legitimate wars with people for legitimate reasons in their eyes. Maybe we don't agree with it, but they was just running around killing people just because I want to take the shit. Yes, they said we want to expand borders. Yeah, they said that, but they were honest. If they had a war because we didn't like it, they said we didn't like it. If I want to be better than my father, they have texts that say that. I want to expand my borders to be better than my father. So they were honest about their motivations. They didn't lie. So at least we know the truth about why they had a war. So we can judge them honestly. They didn't just run around, I want to take your shit because I want to take your shit.
That's fair. That's fair. I can respect that if that was the case. Like I said, I just don't know enough, so I would have to lean on you for that understanding. But I accept
they
that.
They have a site called St. Andrew's Corpus. They have a lot of text there that you can read with the hieroglyphs and the English and the transliteration if you like. So you can read some of the text to get an understanding of what some of these things were about if you like. That's a good site to go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean on you, brother. I'm gonna lean on you. I'm gonna keep it real. I rather lean on my brothers and sisters who that's their thing. I rather lean on you. Like we do on everything. I could easily tell you an apple a day keep the doctor away, but I'm not a doctor. I'm gonna lean on the doctors. I'm gonna lean on the philosophers or whatever. But I do appreciate that.
Well, Qube, it was wonderful. I'm gonna jump out.
Okay.
We'll definitely talk again, right?
No doubt, man. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Definitely appreciate the conversation as always.
Yeah, my brother. I appreciate that, man. Blessings.
All right, peace, blessings.
Yeah, for such an interesting culture, civilization, past and present Egypt. I I have absolutely been Egypt out of my mind, like over a decade ago. Like I used to want to go to Egypt. Now I don't even want to go to Egypt. Like I could care less now at this point. Like it's so saturated, man. That topic is bananas. Like
Yeah, I'm just not interested.
Yo, that shit is like to me. That shit is like the dude that's going bald and he wants to do the Como. Let it go. Shave the shit off. Let it go. Like it's. Y'all just gonna agree to disagree. Just let it go.
Man, you know, I always tell this story, and I'll tell it real quick. It's only about 2 or 3 sentences, but you know, once I left the fake Black Hebrew Israelite religion cult, excuse me, the fake Black Hebrew Israelite cult, I did what everybody did. I ran to Egypt, and I ran to Egypt for a week or two trying to study that shit, and I just saw more gods, and I was just like, nah, I'm cool, and I just became an atheist. I was just like, nah, none of this shit is real. It's all fake to me. So I just deaded it, like right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but I'm just that shit doesn't interest me, bro. Like none of it interests me. What was it, a cool civilization or whatever? Yeah, but you know, I don't look at those people as me. You know, it just doesn't do it for me. Like it really does nothing for me. I'm not interested in the conversations about Egypt. None of that really, you know, if I have to go there to probably look up some things that they did or whatever the case, okay, yeah, but none of that whole thing, like how niggas sit back and do 8-hour streams talk about Egypt. I don't know how the fuck they do it. You know, it's just not me, bro. I could care less. I could truly care less about Egypt, bro. I don't want to go there. I'm not interested. It's just not my thing. It's just not my
I
thing.
think that if you took away the structures,
The allure goes with it. The allure goes with it.
There's interest wouldn't be here like that. I mean, personally, I think this is my opinion. I think West Central African culture is more interesting than Egypt, ancient Egypt. I think that culture in South Africa, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I just think if you took the pyramids away and the Sphinx away, and you took that away, it wouldn't be what it is right now.
Yeah, because like those pyramids are considered like one of the 8 wonders of the world. You know what I'm saying? So like the allure behind it is just so palpable that it prompts people to want to rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And especially, you know, during the time of black people not having access to a lot of this shit, and then we got access to it, and then we started saying like, "Yo, that's us," and da 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 da. You know, they were black, we're black, and you know that just spawned and spent off a whole nother thing. So I get that why peoples of yesteryear wanted to rock with it so bad, but to me, I'm not in the Egyptian craze. Like that's not my generation. So to me, I honestly I don't see the allure of this shit, bro. Like none of it piques my interest. Like some niggas put some rocks on top of each other. Cool. Aight. And they had some other little cool things they was doing. Aight. And the funny thing about it is, if we pass 1,000 years from where we are today, they're gonna look at us the same way. They're gonna be like, oh, some niggas build the Burj Khalifa. Cool. Nigga, we out in space some goddamn where. You know, so I don't know. I watch too much Star Wars and Star Trek to ever be, you know, too hyped about what capitalists are fucking doing on the earth today. It just doesn't move me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this stream because I like the conversation so much and keep it as its own thing, just so I don't have to do work in editing. Shameless, I know. But and then I'll start a new stream to get into the other topics. And if you guys want to tap into the other topics, we could definitely do that. And
What's your other topic?
my other topics. Oh, I got let me pull it up. I was about to get into this Christian shit to this dude is beating up Christians. I was about to get into some economics about how the two income trap, how they've kind of manipulated that shit to try to make people think that just because you have two incomes, it makes life in this goddamn capitalist system easier for you, which it actually doesn't. I was about to get into the affordability of homes and stuff today. I try to give out pertinent information, things that we could actually use. Talk about fucking Egypt and religion all day. That shit ain't doing nothing for niggas. Like on some real shit, it's doing nothing for niggas. Like we spinning our wheels with that.
Yeah, I think that religion is a personal thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I personally take issue with proselytization. You know what I'm saying? It's like at this point in time, it's like, bro, we already know what the watchtower is. If we want to join, we'll come to the Kingdom Hall on Sunday. if I, all right, got you. Final call, bean pie, got you. All right, I'll go to the mosque on Sunday, got you. You know what I'm saying? It's.
We know what it is, bro. Like, come on.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's now, because I think the problem in it comes is that a lot of time, I don't know what it is. Like, I used to be like that, where I had to be right. It had to be what I was on, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually contradictory.
Same here, bro.
It's contradictory from a biblical and a Quranic perspective. Like, biblically, it says, many are called, few are chosen. So if you know the scripture's telling you that many are going to be called to this, you're going to hear the message, but you don't accept it, you're not of the chosen. Why are you debating with anybody? If Allah makes Muslims, why are you debating with anybody? It's in the will of Allah that you're going to be a Muslim. That's why I don't find it necessary to debate religion. Like, conversate, learn, add on, cool. But the arguing shit, like, that shit is dumb. Because look, bro, all these debates that you see every fucking day on YouTube, whether it's the conscious community, or whether it's some Christian channel, Muslim channel, whatever channel, how many times have you seen in the debate that somebody says at the end of the debate, you're right and I'm wrong? And
yeah, that's never gonna happen.
It's not. So it's like there's no point.
But hold on, but watch this though. Watch this though. Now, while I agree with you that a lot of this shit is not fruitful, what we cannot get away from is that had I not watched the information that the atheists were putting out in the debates that they were putting out, I wouldn't be an atheist today. So the fruit that comes from it is you're not finna see it at the end of a debate. You're just not gonna see it. But down the line, people do change their mind, and you do implant little bugs in their head. It's the same thing with socialism and communism, where I talk about it. Even when I'm not talking about it, I find myself talking about it because there's a wealth of knowledge and understanding that people don't fucking have. And it's a little bit different than religion because, like you say, religion should be personal, whereas this economic shit, this shit controls, envelops us all. And a lot of us don't understand it. So this has to be talked about. This has to be discussed. Not necessarily even debated. I would even tell you, we don't even have to debate these ideas. But these things must be talked about. When it comes to religion, you're right. That's something that's supposed to be personal. Only you're going to be able to gain access to heaven. Nigga, I can't go with you. You can't take your daughter, your mama, grandmama. Nigga, they not going with you. But in this economic talk, nigga, we all in it together. And it takes all of us to actually change this. You see what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different, but there are some things that overlap.
Yeah, it is. But I think, you know what? Let me state that again. A healthy debate.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, because I would say I've yet, you know what, and this may, I'm just going to say like it is. The only, and this is so ironic, the only debate that I ever saw, ever, that was healthy, that I ever seen, was the one with Ray Higgins and Wesley Muhammad.
Damn. It's crazy.
And I don't agree with both of them. But the point of like Ray Higgins basically saying I'm not going to debate him. Now, why he did that, that's a whole nother subject. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in his head. I'm not in his heart. I don't know if he did because he was scared.
Who you think won that debate? I think Ray Higgins won that debate.
No, Ray Higgins the debate didn't even happen. Ray Higgins just like, he said his thing, but he didn't debate Wesley, and he just basically said, I'm not going to debate my brother because it's like...
They never debated?
He was like, if that was what works for him, let him be. That was what he was on.
So who the fuck did Ray Higgins debate then? What am I missing?
Yeah, bro, it's on YouTube. It's a very interesting. To me, I found it very interesting. Now, again, why he did it and the other dynamics in it, that's a whole different story. But on the premise of if the man was being sincere as to why he did what he did, that's what's up. But it was kind of found some other.
So who was the Muslim cat that Ray Higgins debated?
Dr. Wesley Muhammad.
But you just said they didn't debate.
They didn't have. It's like they were there on stage, but it didn't follow through. It didn't go through. Like he spoke. He didn't speak trying to say he's wrong. Wesley spoke, and it wasn't like that. It was basically kind of like, to you be your way, to me I be my way. This is what works for you. That's what works for me. Whatever works for you as an individual. Let's not fight each other. That's what that was. It was very interesting.
Because I remember Ray Higgins was a powerhouse back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm telling you to watch the video.
Yeah, I got to pull that up,
But
man.
again, I'm going to reiterate again, the other dynamics of whatever that other stuff, which is not my business, whatever, that's totally different. I can see, like, there was some that was foul.
Well,
in other words, why would you have the debate?
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this.
That wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? How he...
I'll say this. You said, that was the most healthy debate you've seen. I don't think I've ever seen a healthy debate, and maybe there are some out there. I've never seen like a really healthy debate because, especially during that era and to now, it's always...
Well, no, I'm talking about in general, not just limited to the conscious community. I'm saying any debate.
Okay, yeah. See, I was limited. Yeah, I was limited to the conscious community because those debates, bro, is about pageantry. Like, yes, there's information involved, but it's about pageantry. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's why I said there's no fucking healthy debate that's taking place because it's about pageantry. Now, outside of the conscious community, I have seen some healthy debates, like when it comes to evolution, shit like that. But overall, niggas in the conscious community, no disrespect to them or whatever the fuck, but niggas ain't trying to have no healthy debates. It's always trying to attack another person's character along with disseminating information. And it never really, me personally, I've never felt that I've got the bang for my buck ever in any of those debates. I've never felt I've got the bang for my buck because niggas is looking for the ahs. Like I've never. That's what kind of turned me off to the shit. And then now I see niggas doing $30 debates. I'm like, ain't no way in fuck you getting $30 for me to watch a goddamn debate. To watch niggas do this shit. Fuck no.
I don't even know what the hell is going on in that community, bro. Like I don't even pay no mind to it. Like
Yeah,
I
that
might
shit
get
ain't
a
worth it.
notification and like I see a title, but
And you swipe away. You swipe
it's
away.
like, yo, I'm like, how many times is this conversation gonna happen? Like the only I tell you what I haven't heard is the debate about what sandal size Moses wore.
Oh
He
Lord.
does. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like everything's been just like what more is there to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like it's old.
Yeah, like
And it was
I'm
going
gonna be
it was
real
going
with you.
and it was going on before the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? Like this subject like it's like what makes you think you're gonna be the one that's gonna make the change and everybody's gonna say, oh my God, this is the truth. Like, let it go.
You know, I'll be real with you, bruh. I've gotten so hyped for debates, like, yo, man, this shit is gonna be dope. And then you go to listening to that shit, bruh. It's like, do you have to tell yourself? It's like when you done had a drink or two, and you like, man, I fuck this shit. I ain't drinking no more. You like, I'm too old for this shit. You watch this shit and you just like, yeah, this just ain't it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I done got too old for this shit because it just don't hit the same. It's just not
Bro,
there.
after the first Nightmare on Elm Street, after the first Jason, after the first Halloween,
It's all the
it's like
same
what
at that point.
it's all the same. It's like what part 20. Like damn, like
Yeah, how many
wasn't it
times you
coming
gonna
part
send
7?
Jason to hell? And how many times you gonna send him to space? Like, I know what you mean, bro. Yeah. Yeah, it gets like not. Let me say this though. I don't have a problem with people debating the same thing. I think it's just a lackluster of the debate as a whole. I think it's just a problem with the lackluster of the shit, man. Because you know, I don't have a problem with niggas just doing a lecture. Like me personally, I like how the brother Jabari debates. You know what I'm saying? He debates like he's trying to do a lecture. To me, that's cool. But other niggas want to they want to put all of this kind of flair shit in there and just want to kind of do this and that. Man, no, bro, we ain't here for that, bro. We here for a debate. Like, the shit has just changed so much. And I don't know. I just don't fuck with it. Maybe it hasn't changed. Maybe it's just the fucking same, and that's the problem. That it is just the same. I don't know. I really can't put my finger on it because I haven't really put a lot of thought in it. I just kind of don't fuck with it, you know. But I have been excited for some debates, and then it's just like, nah. Like one debate in particular was the brother Inky versus the brother Unk. I thought that was gonna be a dope ass debate. I listened to like 10 minutes of that shit and I turned it the fuck off. I said, there's no way I can listen to any more of this fucking trash. Like, I just can't, bro. Like, that shit is just garbage, bro. Just straight trash. But, it is what it is. Maybe there's people that still find some usefulness or value in the shit, but I just fucking don't. I just don't see the shit. I just don't see it. But it is what it is. But damn. But yeah, let me go ahead and end this one, and I'm gonna come back with the new stream, and we're gonna talk about these other topics. And if you want to come back in, you know what I'm saying,
I'll
you
be
just
at work.
can't. Oh, you'll be at work.
I'm about to,
Okay, well, if you want to tap in and just listen a little bit of what we got going on when you're on your break or whatever, then that's cool too, bro. I appreciate you for coming through.
yeah, bro, I joined your Discord, man.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
let me drop the
yeah,
Discord
yeah.
link again. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like I tell everybody, man. If y'all got like videos and shit y'all want me to cover, you know what I'm saying? Like for you, if it's like a communist video or a capitalist video, man, like drop that shit, bro. I'm always looking for new content to cover. Because these shits I got to go out and find myself, which of course I don't have a problem. I have to do content, but you know what I'm saying? If it's something niggas want to see me react to or whatever, man, I always drop that shit. So I definitely appreciate you stopping through and definitely joining, bro. I'm gonna try to be more active, but you know, That is what that is.
I take you a show. I know you gotta go, but I gotta go. I was gonna say a show that'd be interesting. Would do is on Roy Cohen.
Roy Cohen.
Roy Cohen, bro. That's Donald Trump's master teacher. That's the man.
Let me look that up real
made-
quick.
There's a new documentary on him. There's some other documentaries. There's interviews you can see.
They
when he was
didn't hear me.
alive. He was a very powerful man, a very feared man during the Eisenhower administration. With the organized crime families, bro. Just trust me, you're gonna appreciate this.
So I just pulled it up. Should I watch the documentary first, or is it Roy? Is it Roy? Cohn?
Yes, Cohn.
Okay, yeah, that's the right person. I'm looking at him. I guess he's a Jew or some shit.
I saw recently. I didn't even know this was out. It's been out for maybe about 3 years. It's a movie on Prime, Hulu, or Netflix. It's called The Apprentice. And
That's the
it's about
shit
Trump.
that Donald Trump used to be on. Oh, they made a movie about it. Okay.
No. They made a movie. It's just called The Apprentice, meaning that he was the apprentice.
I think I seen that, bro. Hold on. I think I seen that shit.
There is some things in the movie though that isn't accurate, so that just requires learning more about Roy Cohen and interviews and reading and other documentaries. But overall,
So he's a character I should invest into and try to check out.
Bro, absolutely. Like he's up there with a J. Edgar Hoover.
Okay, yeah, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, he's in that ballpark.
All right, yeah. So I got this already locked in. Loaded. Yeah, 'cause they got a documentary about this shit from 2019, so I'll tap into that, check that out, and it'll probably take me other places. But yeah, man, appreciate the information. Hell yeah. Like, this is the shit I be asking for in the Discord. Like, send me little stuff, man, so I can, educate myself, to where then I can also disseminate that information and educate other people. So I definitely appreciate that, bro. Hell yeah.
All right, yo.
Yeah.
That was my pagan holiday gift to you.
well, I appreciate it, bro. It came wrapped in an American flag, and thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Well, no, I'd say it's more. It's a capitalist holiday.
Yeah, it is.
With the cosmetics of paganism.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I got so much shit to say on Christianity. I just got too much to say on that. Like, when I left the fake Black Hebrew Israelite cult, I was like, oh, I can celebrate religion now. Then I found out, goddamn, I'm just spending so much fucking money on Christmas and all these bullshit holidays. I'm just like, and then when I became a communist, I had to reel myself the fuck back. Like, hold on. All of this shit is bullshit. Whether it's Christian or Hebrew Israelite, all of this shit is bullshit, bro. But yeah, I'm definitely right there in line with you. I'm right there in line with you. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to agree with the religion shit because that's your shit. But when it comes to economics, this shit affects us all, bro. And we're in this shit together. So that's why I always rock with you, because you fuck with that. And I'm always going to fuck with you if you fuck with that. That's 100, bro. I'm always going to fuck with you because, shit, nigga, we both soldiers of the same army, nigga, when it comes to this shit. So, yeah, let me go ahead and pause this. Everybody, come back in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and